What's up, guys? My name is Steven. Welcome to video number 3 in this new series where I'm teaching you how to build a login registration system using Facebook Connect in a CodeIgniter application. In this video, I'm going to grab the Facebook PHP SDK located on their website or on a GitHub repository, and we're going to include it into our library that we just created in CodeIgniter in this application. So the first thing I want to do is just get rid of this little blurb. Oh no, don't open that. IE Explorer, no. Okay, right, oh my goodness. What on earth is happening? Do not open Windows Explorer. Okay, so in my controller, I guess, all I want to do, my main controller, is just not call this test function. I'll just get rid of it, get rid of that there, but I'll still have access to that function because it actually is a method in my library. Okay, so I'm going to go to the developers.facebook.com website. It should look like this. At the time of this recording, I believe it's August 10th, 2012. So right now, Facebook SDK 3.0 is the current version, and I mean it says iOS there, but it's also the 3.0 for PHP and JavaScript and all these other languages that you can use the Facebook SDK in. What we're going to do is we're going to click on the Build for Websites button, because that's what we're doing. And then we're going to scroll down to, no, we're going to go down, see on the left-hand side it says SDK reference. So we'll click SDK reference, and then Facebook SDK for PHP. Now if I click on this, it'll give me, tell me a little bit about it. And I actually suggest that you read this. It explains a little bit about how these Facebook objects are instantiated. But in this case, I'll be explaining most of it later on. So you don't need to worry about it, but if you actually want to dive deep into the Facebook Connect API, I strongly recommend you start reading this, especially yeah. So it says we can download the Facebook SDK for PHP from GitHub. So we'll click on this link. That'll take us to their GitHub repository. And I'll just click download the zip. And I will save the file. And go to my downloads. There it is. Oops. Okay, I'm going to open this up. Use a program called WinRAR, which I haven't bought. I will open up this folder inside of the zip folder, and then really the only 3 files that we need are located inside of source. See, these are tests, examples, and a little bit of this. I don't know, I'm not sure what that's for. We'll open up the source folder, and there's 3 files in here, and these are the only things that we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Notepad. I'm going to go to Notepad, and I'm going to click and drag these just into like this, into this tab bar, so I can open up all 3 of these right in my tab bar. And then because I'm not going to use a Facebook or a FTP client, I can add them straight into my project using this. But if you wanted to, you could also just drag and drop those 3 files into the libraries folder, regardless of wherever your CodeIgniter installation is. So what I'm going to do is in this libraries folder, I'm going to create a new directory or a new folder and just call it Facebook. Then I'll click on it and then go to each of these 3 files and click on Upload File, which is just a nice little utility built into Notepad++. And you can see these 3 files are now being added onto my web server using this upload file button on Notepad++. And now however you choose to get those 3 files into a Facebook folder in the libraries is completely up to you. That's just how I was going to do it. So that's it. Now I have the Facebook SDK located on my web server. Refresh this. Hello World is still being outputted. Let's see where that is. All right, the send back function. So I'll get rid of this as well. Perfect. Come on. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now I have my my Facebook Connect SDK all downloaded and located in the Facebook folder in my libraries folder. So what I want to do now is I actually want to include this before I even open my class. So go include, say app path dot, so I'll append on a string that says libraries / Facebook / Facebook.php. So the actual file that I'm loading is this middle Facebook file. So let's actually open that up and take a look inside of it. So it requires, the first thing it does is require the base Facebook file. And then if we look at the constructor method of this class, we can see that it receives config, a parameter called config. And we can read right here, it says it's an array that that contains, well, essentially it will be an array that contains our app ID and our app secret key once we actually create our Facebook application. So now would be actually a perfect time to do that now that we've included this. So what we'll do is we'll go back to our browser. We'll go to developers.facebook.com/apps. And right now you can see there's a couple that I've created. This is for the demo that I was building just to practice for this tutorial, so that this app secret, I'll have you know, means absolutely nothing. But it is something that you do want to keep very secret. So the first thing, what I'll do is I'll create a new app. I'll click this Create New App button. My app name will be CI Tutorial Demo. And hopefully that name hasn't been taken, and it hasn't. Perfect. That's the only thing that I actually want to specify on this little form. I'll click Continue. It's going to ask me for a little CAPTCHA to make sure I'm not a robot. So I'll do this. SNQ. Perfect. Hopefully that was right. Sometimes I think it's right and it's not actually. Okay, so there's a couple things I need to do on this page. You can see right away it's giving me an app ID and an app secret, and that information will be extremely useful and actually will be required to use this information to actually instantiate our Facebook object. But as for now, we don't need it. I'm just going to fill out some other information on this website before I actually use this information. So our app domains, for me, because I'm on a web server, my app domain is going to be assemblytech.com. Perfect. And right here it says select how your app integrates with Facebook. There's a whole bunch of different ways that we can build an app and integrate it with Facebook. But in our case, ours is just a website with Facebook login, right? So my site URL is going to be http://www.assemblytech.com/tutorial/3_fbconnect. I'll paste that in here, and we want to make sure that this is followed by a /. So now that we've made these changes, and this is actually where my CodeIgniter installation is going to be, I can click Save Changes. It's going to tell me it may take several minutes, but usually it only takes a couple seconds to propagate to all servers or whatever. But essentially this means that my Facebook app can now be used in my Facebook web application if I have the correct data. So in the next video, I'm going to show you, we'll be creating a config file, including this information in it. And then when we go to actually instantiate our Facebook object, we'll be passing those variables in an array into when we instantiate the Facebook object.